So this village feels a lot like the one I'm in right now. Like, like almost spookily. So, like the village that I live in, it has a row of cottages.
Yeah.
And a church right at the end, and next to the church is like a big farmhouse where the basically the owners of the village live. They rent pretty much every house to the rest of us.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you live in the town where we're just about to do terrible things.
Really, I'm kind of slightly freaked out now.
Okay, Jesse and Matthias, hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. Good to see you all. Right, okay, so there is a couple of links in the chat. There is a link to the spreadsheet, which has got characters in it. It's also got useful links in it. And there is a link to a Google Doc file. I think you need to go to the second one, and that has in it a sort of like a little one-line précis of each of the characters, so you can kind of get a feel for which of them you fancy playing. Before we start, is anyone booked into anything in 3 hours' time?
Oh, I am.
Okay, right. So we got a dead set that I will finish at 11 here /9 at Lawrence. And what game are you in next?
Oh my god, I can't remember. I have them all on my calendar though. It's Survival of the Fittest.
Oh, that sounds really fun. That does sound really fun. I decided that I was being way too ambitious with my schedule, so I dropped out of one tomorrow so that I can get some sleep in. Because when I was telling my wife that I was starting at 7 and finishing at 5 in the morning, she's like, "You're not going to be able to do that, are you?" I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm too old for that. That's just not going to happen." So I've dropped out of the 7 o'clock one so that I can make the 5 o'clock one. Because it was like 1 till 5, because that is Avery Alder running Monsterhearts probably a lot better than me. Okay, so. Has everyone had a chance to look at the Google Docs?
The chat history doesn't show for me.
Which one doesn't show, sorry?
The chat history?
Oh, okay. I will resend them.
There we go.
In the spreadsheet is a link to the dice folder. That's what we'll be using to use our dice, as well as that also handles Xcard. If you want to Xcard anything at any point. If anyone also wants to fade to black at any point, we can do that. First of all, so are there any other safety tools that anyone would like in place? No good. Xcard and fade to black. Cool. Okay. So once everyone's had a chance to look at the little summaries, let me know which of them you fancy playing, and we will speed through character generation, which is pretty easy anyway because it's PBTA, so it's just pick a stat line and pick some moves. Oh, hello, we've lost Jesse.
Oh no.
Hopefully he will be back in a bit. I am just going to pause quickly, and I will be back in just 2 minutes whilst you guys look over the sheets.
Is anyone feeling a particular character?
I had a thought or two for the Hollow. Yeah, but if anybody was already like dying to play that one, I'm not dead set on it.
Did you say the Hollow?
Yeah.
So Ollie's given us 4 pre-gen characters. Well, not pre-gen.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
yeah, so in the link, the first link that he sent in the chat, there's a Google spreadsheet.
oh, well, that makes it easier.
Mhm.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Where's that? The information in the text chat. I'm actually not even seeing it.
Oh, sure. I'll send it on. I think that's all of it. And then under, there's a tab called useful links in that Excel, and then it's got links to a bunch of cool stuff like names and slang and images.
Yeah, so I haven't really changed from my preferences from before. I was still kind of thinking the witch or the mortal, depending on what everyone else's strong feelings are. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, well, have people found stuff that's appealed to them?
Yeah, I similarly would be very happy with either the queen or the model, but they all look really
you're
cool.
thinking
So
queen or
I'm
model.
flexible. Yeah.
Okay, and Youan, I think you were saying that you had a preference just when I came back in there. Which are you going for?
Yeah, the witch would be my first preference.
Okay, sweet. Jesse and Matthias, who do you fancy?
And if I can still be the Fury, I'm into that.
Sweet.
Sure.
Yep, the Fury is
Sure,
yours.
sure.
Jesse, if you have a look on the spreadsheet, there are some Fury stats, because I gave you 2 stat lines as per the Monsterhearts 2 way of doing things instead of the Monsterhearts 1 way
great.
of doing things. And
Okay.
So we've got a Fury, a Witch, and a Mortal / Queen. So Matthias, do you fancy Mortal or Queen?
I think if it's fine with you, I'd be going mortal.
You're going to get Mortal.
Well,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Okay, so Lauren, you are the Queen. Mike.
Excellent.
Okay, so has everyone got the PDF from the spreadsheet?
Yes. And
Okay.
usually when I play Cult Leader, everyone dies. So this should be this should be fun.
Okay. Right. Okay. So if you have a look at the spreadsheet, the PDF, that has got the skins in it. So what you need to do for the skins is pick your stat line. You need to pick your moves as directed on the sheet, and you need to pick your backgrounds. The one thing of background that I have already pre-decided is the origin for each of you. So I've kind of jumped a couple of steps here. Is everyone sort of at least familiar with Monsterhearts? Yeah.
Oh yes,
Sweet.
I played it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. Good stuff. Cool. Okay, so if people want to start filling out their spreadsheet, Matthias and Jesse, I don't think you were here when I posted up the list of Cornish names earlier. There are some Cornish names there as well if you want to use those instead of the names in the spreadsheet that are on your PDF, or just use the ones on the PDF, the standard ones. They're also good. I'm going to see what people are doing to the sheet. Can everyone edit the sheet okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, hang on, there's a couple of conditions on that shouldn't be on there. You can see I copied this across from
I thought that was like a pre-gen kind of tactic, which is actually quite a good idea. I might use
yeah,
in the
no,
future to give someone a condition like to start.
that would be a nice idea, but no, that is from Mercy Fools, which I copied this spreadsheet from. Is the spreadsheet loading okay for everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Right, well, you guys go ahead and edit it then, and I will just sit back and stare at it a little bit.
Do we need to give +1 to one of our stats? It doesn't say it.
No, Monsterhearts 2, you just pick a stat line. So there's two sets of stats which are two different sort of versions of the character. So like the witch can be, I think it's brooding and mysterious, or sort of kind of sexy and powerful.
Sorry, Ali, what were you saying about the stat line for me?
So Jesse, there's a tab on this spreadsheet which is called Fury Stats. I'm pointing at it. You can't see what I'm doing on my finger. Called Fury Stats, and that's I've just given you two options to choose from in the style of Monsterhearts 2, because Monsterhearts 1, which is the only Fury that there is, has just a one stat line which you add one to, but we don't do that anymore.
I played a game with a Fury once before, and they're really fun because they're so dynamic, like just jumping up and down in intensity. It's really fun.
Excellent. Yeah, so you get you're looking forward to that. So yeah, you get the betrayed stat, don't you?
Yeah.
The betrayed condition and the hopeful condition. So Jesse, I think another of yours should be +2.
Yep. Yeah, I need to adjust that.
Cool.
How do we change the formatting in a field? Like all my two moves have like hover information, which is obviously from a different move.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's my bad. I thought I deleted that. If you hover over it so that the note appears, and then just delete all the text that's in it, it goes away.
That's easy. Thanks.
Yeah, apparently I hadn't saved quite as much of this as I thought I had. Is everyone going female so far?
Oh, I can switch if that.
Oh no, that's absolutely fine. I just want to make sure I get the genders right because I'm not familiar with some of the names.
Female.
No,
Sweet.
I think that's the. So that's a boy's name in the list that I picked. So I'm going by him.
Okay, cool.
I think I already know, like he used to, like in Brighton, he was still like Zeke, because yeah, he's got that old-fashioned kind of name from.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, maybe like people in town remember his mom, right? and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
from back in the
remember
day,
his
yeah.
name. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we've got Melisk. Is Melda is she male? Is that male or female, Lauren?
Female.
Female, sweet. Okay, cool.
Cool. I think I'm done.
Okay. Oh, have you picked your appearances?
Oh, I haven't. Whoops.
Telepathic connection, nice.
I'm going to be sleeping with everyone and then reading your minds. It's going to be fun. Where should I whack the appearances?
That goes just below your name.
Oh, cool.
So, so you've got your origin. There's 2 bits above it. So I think you've got 1 for your eyes and 1 for your general appearance.
Cool.
How do you want me to? Do you want the whole description, or do you just want the name of it, or what would you like?
Just the name of it, because I'm going to leave the managing the moves mostly to you.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you know what you've chosen. And then once everyone is done with this, we will do backstory.
Like, things easy. All my gang members are also young women.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, because you have to name them separately as well, don't you? Okay, so Lauren, are you done? We can start doing your backstory if you are.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay, cool. So you have to name 3 side characters who are members of your gang, so you gain a string on each of them. And you find someone threatening, so you give them a string and they take... So you give them a string and take a string. So it's a string each on one of the characters that you find threatening.
Interesting. There are a couple of ways to go with this. Ooh, I could find all of you threatening. You're so I'm kind of fussing up with like new kid on the block, like how exactly are they gonna fit into this in a community kind of thing. But then like these other characters are also kind of like I say weird in like a loving way. But let's go for let's go for the model. I find the model threatening.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he will be arriving in this episode. Like this will be sort of him turning up in the town. So we will sort of that can be kind of like an instinctive reaction to him.
Awesome.
Okay, how's everyone else doing? You and you're finished? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Ewan, let's do your backstory then. So your backstories are... you start the game with 2 sympathetic tokens to decide whose they are and what they are.
Okay. Would you mind if we kind of went through what the characters like appearance, or like their...
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, so does everyone want to just go through kind of what their character looks like, and actually tell me your character's moves as well before we do the backstory. And yeah, tell me a little bit about your character.
Yeah. So Jago, I think it's Jago.
It is, yeah. Cornish for James.
He's a proper goth. Like, I put my hood up because he does, and he has the thick eyeliner and the black nails. And
nice.
I think you probably can't see his eyes most of the time, and he's deathly pale.
That was pretty much me at 16.
Right. So, yeah, I think he's very hard to get a word out of, but he's brooding, and he's very like, if not volatile, then like he tries really hard to give a menacing air, whether he does or not.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. He's not like a big guy or anything, so he probably fails most of the time to be menacing.
Okay, cool. Jesse, what does your character look like?
So Brenneth is, I think she's tried to kind of disappear a little bit into the background. She's got, she's a little desperate. She's maybe figuring out where she fits in to the world. Obviously, there's some sense of feeling like an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
My sense is that there's something kind of bubbling right underneath the surface.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where she's at so far. I would say probably light hair, nondescript clothing. Again, just tries to disappear.
Okay. Okay, cool. Lauren, what does Melda look like?
Yeah, I'm picturing like someone that kind of like similar to our witch, like a little bit of a goth edge. Like she has kind of dark hair. She always some ways like maybe like darker nail polish and sort of wears colors, be with a pop of black here and there. Because I envision her as being that kind of girl who knows that her dad's like the deal in town, and is therefore a bit flagrant with the rules. Like she's possibly a smoker. And doesn't try to hide it too much because someone can like really touch her, and sort of like disinterested with school, and is happy with like the safety net that her family have going on socially, I guess financially. So yeah, she's going to be fun to get along with. Doesn't play well with others really. She's super hot.
Matthias, what does Melisk look like?
Yeah, so Marisak, it's a quiet look and pretty wide doe eyes, and so he's a kid with like really slender kid, really not broad shoulders. It's like kind of looks like the testosterone in his puberty has thus far gone past him. So he's very much so in town back then, he was probably like flying under the radar everywhere and being more or less like a quiet geek kind of kid.
Yeah.
And now he's being pulled into this backpack place.
Yes.
Yeah. So pretty awkward in that regard. Like he was already awkward, but he was the awkward, like that's the well-adjusted awkward. That's the accepted awkward in the city. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't know his way about here now.
Okay. Cool. Right. So, Ewan, if you want to go back to your backstory, who do you have the tokens of?
Yeah, so I think maybe I have something kind of something quite bougie from Melda, like a purse or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm not sure.
Well, if you want to decide who you have them on, and you can decide what they are later if you want.
Okay. I'd like to have one on Marisek then. Is that the right way to say it?
Okay, cool. We're going to do Marisek's arrival in town in this, so we can show you. We can do the scene where you get that basically. Okay, and someone saw you rummaging through your friend's stuff, but didn't say anything, so they get a string on you. Who was that?
Bennett. So Bennett saw that.
Bennett saw that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so Bennett, you get a string. So if you guys are happy to manage your own strings, that would be awesome. Okay. So Lauren, have you named your 3 side characters? Oh, sorry, we can't hear you, Lauren.
Thank you. They're in my moves.
Lovely.
We have Rosen, Splatter, and then Tressa, because I thought it was kind of funny that Tressa means third. So she's literally just like the third gang member.
Cool. Okay, so the mortal goes last. So the Fury.
So, looks like according to the sheet, I have, unless you've adjusted these at all, I have a secret crush on. I have a secret crush on someone.
Okay. Who is that?
I think that should be. I think that should be Melder.
Okay, makes sense.
That's awesome.
She's the cool one. I want to be a part of the clique, but I kind of don't. But I do.
Yeah, something that you would love to be noticed by them, but you'd also be terrified if that happened.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. Okay, someone's been bullying me. Let's see. I'm gonna say let's have that be Jago. Just given that he noticed me rifling through his things.
Yes. Okay. So that's why you haven't said it's because he's cool.
Right.
So did you say that I hadn't noticed you, or you broke up there?
Oh, that you. I think that you noticed me going through your things.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Maybe you've been bullying me about it. Like, what have you been? Why were you rifling through my stuff?
Yeah, and I'm probably trying to maintain some power over you if I can, because I know that you've got this over me.
Right. Yeah, I like the kind of.
You get.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was going to say, Lauren, you get 3 strings on Jesse.
Oh, cool.
And then, so the mortal's new in town. Is there some way we can play up that the mortal getting 2 strings on me once he arrives?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
So let's see. My internet's decided that was a good time to be real slow. Okay, so someone's kind to you. So the mortal is going to be kind to you once he arrives. Jacob's bullying you, and you have a secret crush on Melda. That is cool. And the mortal, your backstory goes last. And again, this is something that we're going to have to set up in a scene because you're going to be arriving right now. And that is, choose one person to be your lover. Give them 3 strings on you. Take 1 string on them. Does not necessarily mean that you have had sex. It just means that they are in your mind your lover. They are your great and powerful, all-encompassing love.
Yeah. And if I got that right, I already
you can decide who it is now, and we'll play it.
Yeah, like I'm kind of leaning Benneth, but that would give me 6 strings on you. Is that correct?
Dangerous.
I think it's
messy.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
I think there's a resonance there. Just looking at like there's some things we have in common, and I think that's what he latches onto.
Okay, cool.
What a great love triangle.
Yes, because of course he is in love with Melda. That is good. That is very good.
Who perceives me as a threat? Yeah.
Okay. That is deliciously messy. Okay. Does everyone in turn want to tell me what their moves are? Just so everyone knows what their moves are. So, Jesse, do you want to start with you because you're furthest left on my screen?
Sure. So I got Feudal Hope. So about the whole description, just to have it in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whenever someone acts kind or accepting towards you, you each take a string on the other, and you get the condition Hopeful, which replaces Betrayed if you have it. If someone you trust betrays or hurts you while you're hopeful, lose all strings on them. Replace Hopeful with Betrayed and roll dark. On 10 and up, trigger your darkest self. On 7 and 9, there's a few different options. So that's the first one. Firestarter, roll volatile to summon jets of flame, unleash destructive telekinetic blasts, instantly freeze the air, otherwise psychically attack your tormentors. And scanners, roll dark to invade someone else's mind.
Awesome sauce. Lauren, what are your moves?
Yeah, so I have the clique, who are cultists with dark bodies and to die. They are Rosen, Splena, and Tressa. And I didn't write down the move, but I have a telepathic connection with your gang members. I can always hear their emotions and fears, and if I try to hear specific thoughts, I look into the abyss. Sorry, I missed a bit of text. I look into the abyss and roll for that.
Okay, cool.
And so everyone knows my sex move is if I sleep with you, you count as a gang member, so I will be able to feel your emotions and stuff if we sleep together.
Okay. Mathias, what are your moves?
Yeah, so I get True Love. We already talked about that. But it does... you always carry 1 forward to earning your lover's heart or fancy. I can fall in love with someone else, but I don't know.
Because you're a teenager and you fall in love every week.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Then I have Down the Rabbit Hole. When you go poking your nose in affairs not meant for your kind, someone involved in the situation gains a string on you and you mark experience.
Perfect.
And I took Excuses Are My Armor. When you ignore some blatant problem with your lover or how they treat you, mark experience.
Okay. And Youan.
So I have the 2 sympathetic tokens that we discussed, and with them I can cast hexes. And the hexes I've chosen are Wither, where I've gone fishy. Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, wither is where the hexed loses all their hair, or their teeth start falling out, or their period arise unexpected and heavy, or their skin gets all sickly yellow and spotty, whatever the specifics, it's bad. And I chose also illusions, which is so it tells me to pick one. Do you think that I need to pick one now?
No, you can pick one as it seems appropriate in the game.
Okay. So it could be snakes and bugs, or demonic visages, or false prophecies, or so the next person sees that everywhere, depending on what.
Yeah, just decide something cool at the time. Okay. Right, let's quickly do the seating chart. So if you guys, who is the most popular? I'm going to say it's probably Melda. Doesn't make sense to me. So Melda, if you want to decide where you sit on the classroom seating chart. So there's a tab on the sheet which is classroom.
Perfect. I'm gonna sit. I mean, not like right at the back, so that's a bit cliche, but like maybe here.
Okay. And I'm gonna guess that you're probably surrounded by your clique, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe like one to the side and the right, and maybe like, yeah, so should I pop them in as well?
Yeah, pop those guys in.
Cool. Poor Teresa, she's gonna be at the back.
Melda, you also have a twin brother, Stefan, so you can decide where he sits.
Awesome. He's probably the antithesis of me, so he's gonna be at the front.
Okay. Cool. There are rumors about how close you and Stefan are. How did they get started, and why don't you mind them?
Ooh. Let's kind of think about that one for a second.
Yeah, of course you can. And also with your cult members, do they know they're in a cult? Is it sort of very on the nose for you? How do you couch that to them?
Yeah, I feel like it's everyone's gonna notice that they're in a cult, but it's got a lot of like, great benefits that I'm happy to talk to you about extensively for hours. So yeah, I think it's pretty on the nose.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right, who is the next most popular, do we think?
It's
Yeah, I think it should be Jago, probably. Just going from the
That would be my sense too.
appearances
Okay.
picked.
Cool, so Jago, where do you sit?
So I think I sit in this corner, right by the window.
Okay, neat.
As far away from everyone else as possible.
Okay, cool. So your desk is even further away from than it should be from. Yeah.
In fact, that's the best seating to have because you're never in the eye line of the teacher.
Right.
No, because
it's way better than the back.
Okay. And who sits around you, Jago?
So can I pick from one of these names here?
Yeah, those are just example names on the right there that you can use if you want.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I think Tess sits next to me.
Okay.
And I don't know that we really talk to each other, but like I think I put up with her.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Like I don't flat out ignore her, which is probably something.
Okay. Does she think you're friends?
Yeah. I think so. So she'll always say hello in the morning, and like, relative to the way that Jago treats people, his like kind of grunt of acknowledgement is quite a thing for her. So yeah, if she's sitting next to him, then she's probably pretty unpopular as well. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool. And if you want to put in another person behind you, so the person behind you, I'm going to say, just flat out hates you. Why do they hate you, and who are they?
It's Daisy. Daisy hates me because I've been practicing on her, like hexes and like little spells, just little tricks, like just to try and get my skills up.
Okay.
So she'll open a folder and find a frog or just little things like that.
Okay.
But she'll always see me watching her when these things happen.
So she kind of knows it's you, even though she can't prove it.
She's extremely suspicious of me.
Okay.
It's a trick in a way, but yeah, she's suspicious.
Okay, cool. Who is the next most popular? I'd probably say that is...
is it the new kid because of...
I was going to say the new kid, yeah. So
Yeah.
Is it... I'm sorry, how do I say this? Is it Melisk?
I think it's... I picked it from... So it's the Cornish for Meriadoc.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Meriesk. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, where are they going to sit?
I think I had actually very little choice, and I got plunked down kind of straight in the middle.
Okay, nice.
That's perfect for all eyes to zoom in on you as you walk.
Yeah, it's super uncomfortable.
Jago, who was sitting there previously?
It was Bethany, wasn't it?
Bethany, okay. So Bethany was sitting there until, should still be sitting there, is all I'm going to say for the minute. Okay, and Meliesk, who pays you the most attention when you walk in?
Yeah, of someone not named yet.
Of someone not named yet, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Victor, and it's because I bumped right into him.
Okay. Right, sure. Okay, cool.
Like, Jacob still has to get a thing off of me, right? I might have dropped something.
He does. We'll do that in the scene. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that in the scene. This is
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I ran straight into Victor, who was probably making some kind of joke, and his back turned, and I was looking at my phone, trying to and he turned and bumped right into me, and that was kind of my intro, I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, and Jesse, where is your character going to be sitting?
Well, I feel like Brett needs to be close, but not too close. I was thinking here.
Mm-hmm.
Melder. Yeah.
Okay,
I think that makes the most sense.
The person on your left makes your life hell. Why do they do that? And who is it?
So I'm gonna say that that's Kit.
Mm-hmm.
And Kit has been telling Melder that I am into her.
Oh no, I know that guy. He's such a dick. Okay, and I am just going to put a few more names in.
I mean, he can always see that you're looking, right? He sits perfectly.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Nice. And Emily was once kind to you. What was the situation there?
Let's see. I feel like Emily lets me copy from her homework sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know why exactly, but
Sorry, did you say something else at the end of that?
Oh, no. Sorry, no. Yeah,
Okay.
I think she lets me copy from her homework.
Okay, cool. Right, I think we are kind of ready to go. Is everyone ready to go?
Yeah.
Sweet. Does anyone need to take a break before we start?
I'm good.
Yeah,
You
2
good?
minutes
Okay.
would be great if that's all right.
A 2-minute break. Okay, let's take a 2-minute break and then we will start up.
Sorry. Thank you.
See you guys in a
Cool.
couple of minutes.
No problem. Same minutes.
Okay, I am ready when you guys are.
Cool.
Okay, sweet. Right, we are going to start at night. It is the sun is just going down over the hills. It's autumn. It's the kind of harvest festival kind of time, and is it Meliesk? You and your mum are driving into or through the countryside. You've been driving all day. It's about a 5-hour drive from where you have been living to this new place that you've been dragged to. I don't know. And the road, it was gone from being kind of like this dual carriageway, motorway kind of thing, and just kept getting smaller and smaller. And now you're basically on a dirt track, despite the fact that you're still supposedly on the main road. And you're going into, what have you and your mum been talking about? Have you been talking on the way down?
Yeah, I think there were like we were still debating, but I think as the roads became narrower and narrower, like our the pauses became longer. We became more monosyllabic, and yeah. So I think probably as we were arriving, him staring out the window now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your mum's name?
I think her name is Janet.
Janet. Okay. Janet kind of looks over at you. I swear it's going to be okay here. How do you respond?
Like a long, drawn out, annoyed sigh, like really.
Look, it can't be that bad. I grew up here. I loved growing up here. I know it's a big change, but it's going to be good for us. I swear, this is going to be good for us. Any response at all?
Yeah. It's the yeah, Mom. Yeah, okay, Mom.
Are you trying to shut her down, or are you just not responding?
Yes.
You're trying to shut her down. Sweet.
Yes,
let's stick with roll.
Yeah, Mom. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, cool. So if you get the dice roll up and roll 2d6 plus cold.
Yep. That's. Did I do this correctly?
Let's see. My page has gone away.
Yeah. Yeah, I roll a 1 and a 5 and have a -1, so nice.
You roll a 1 and a 5. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are. She just kind of looks away from you, doesn't pay you any attention. It's like, look, fine. If you're going to be like that, it's just fine. But as you pass over the border into the town itself, and you see the sign, "Welcome to Seven Spires," and it says it should say "Please drive carefully," but someone has graffitied it, so it says "Please die carefully," and you feel this, like almost this pulse as you go over the border, and you feel suddenly sick. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I hug myself tightly, and that's like really easy for him because he's just thin, stick thin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm trying to keep it in though, right? Like the thing where you're like not trying to. Yeah, he isn't going like, oh, stop, pull.
Okay, cool.
Pull to the left, right? No, he's like, oh, and trying to like not get noticed and not have that noticed.
Okay. She does notice because she's your mum and she always notices that shit.
Yeah.
And she looks over at you and kind of like rolls her eyes as like, yeah. How did the leaving party go? is Jago. You're at home. Who do you live with since your mum disappeared when you were a wee baby?
Just my dad.
You live with your dad. Okay, cool.
I think it's just me and him.
Okay, cool. What's your relationship like?
It's exactly as you might expect. He's very earnestly trying, and I'm very, very pointedly pushing back on any kind of familial or like emotional advance that he has. It's kind of it's always me upstairs with the bedroom locked with Marilyn Manson playing hard or something more modern, maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure Marilyn Manson is still relevant for goths. Okay. Justin Bieber made him relevant again, apparently. Okay, right. So you are there. What are you doing in your room at the minute?
Reading. I'm reading. I got a book out from the library that's folk symbols and standing stones of local interest, and he's kind of cross-referencing that with some other books that he's been looking at to try and get a hold on some spells, some powerful places.
You're reading this, and then you find yourself kind of suddenly, like, not quite frozen in place, but like you can't move. And even though you weren't moving especially, you're very conscious suddenly that you would not be able to if you tried. And you can kind of feel this mounting pressure in your forehead. And this happens exactly at the same point that Mariesk drives over the border. So as he goes over and he feels that pulse, you get that the pulse kind of like travels through the village, hits you, and you get straight in your forehead, and you can feel something is really wrong, and it's outside. What do you do?
So do I feel like it's right outside?
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
it's just right. So I think I feel a sense of accomplishment, and I feel like I'm on the right track. Yeah, I'm going to run to the window and like check outside to see if there's anything.
Okay. And what you see is Mariesk pull up outside in the car, and they're pulling up at the rental property next to you, the property that's just been to let for a little while. And you can feel that somehow that is connected to what's just happened. And at that point, your phone rings, and we'll do that now. Your phone rings, and your phone does your phone ring often?
No.
I was kind of guessing that.
To the extent that I'm surprised when I hear it. Like I don't know what my ringtone sounds like.
Yeah, and it kind of jerks you out of this, and you look away for a little while. Do you answer your phone? It's yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I don't say anything. Like I've gone through in my head quite a lot, like what I want to sound like on the phone, and the thing is, I don't know when I pick up the phone.
Jago, are you there? It's Bethany. Are you there? I need to talk to you.
Where have you been?
It's the stuff you were saying, the stuff about your mum and the Queen for a Day thing. I think you're right. I can't say any more about it now, but it's... And then the phone goes off. Melda, where are you at the minute?
I feel like I'm just kicking it with Stephen and the gang. Maybe like just loitering around outside the local pub, or like some form of establishment that we're not allowed into, but we just want to.
Okay, yeah. I think you're so you're at the pub, and it's. Have you seen that scene in Hot Fuzz you seen Hot Fuzz where there's just a bunch of like clearly underage kids in the pub, but like if they kick them out, there'll be no one else to serve. So it's a combination of that. Yeah. Plus, everyone knows who your dad is, so they don't fuck with you anyway. Okay, so you're doing that, and then you hear the doors go. You guys kind of twitch over as they always do, just in case it's it's the police or someone that you should know, and it is your dad. It's Edward. How do you react?
Well, I feel like my dad doesn't super care that I'm at the pub. She's still gonna like, oh god, it's dad, and just like try to like avoid making eye contact with him so he doesn't come over and embarrass her in front of her friends.
Okay. He doesn't look at you as he comes in. Gets himself a whiskey from the bar, which he does not pay for, and then he comes down and just he pulls over a chair and sits next to you, and it's just kind of like across the floor as he sits next to you. Hello, sweetie.
All right, Dad.
Now, I can see that you and your friends, and he smiles around at everyone. Kind of, he's trying to be cool, but he's not because he's a dad. I'm glad that you're having a nice time. But you know what tomorrow is. Do you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is the Queen for a Day party.
I know what tomorrow is, Dad. I'm not gonna forget about it.
Prepared? You know how important this is, don't you?
Yes, Dad. I'm prepared. Jeez.
Are you trying to do a shutdown there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's roll a shutdown.
Can I say on record, I love the fact that all the shutdowns so far have been to our parents. What's the stat for shutdown?
It is cold, right? Sorry. Yeah.
Cold. And my cold is so. Oh, that's a 6.
That's 6. He smiles. And what's the worst thing you've ever seen your dad do? Like, what's the most like violent thing you've ever seen him do?
Oh, saw him get rather aggressive towards, I guess, like maybe the guy at the dairy or the local shop guy when they ran out of his preferred brand of cigarettes.
Okay, cool.
And I actually stole them, so I stole a cigarette and then he ran out.
Awesome.
And then security brought the shop.
Okay, he doesn't say anything for just a sec. Drinks his drink, picks up your drink, and then just throws it across the room so it smashes across the wall. This is important. Do you understand me? Do you understand what you need to do? Everyone needs to be there or it won't work.
Yes, I get it. She's just sort of like way drawn back from now and is sort of like may put her hood up a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to give you the condition under Dad's thumb.
Cool.
And he says, make sure everyone's there. We can't have one missing. He storms out of the pub. Brethren. Is it Brethren? Sorry, Jesse, you're on mute.
Beth.
Sorry, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Benneth.
Benneth, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
Benneth.
Yeah.
Benneth. Okay, cool. Where is Benneth right now?
I think Benneth is wandering around the local forest.
Okay, cool.
She came from, there's some sense of what is this place.
Okay. So tell me what that looks like on screen.
I think she's wandering, just sort of, maybe there's a small stream that she's walking along. It feels very very ancient, very dark, very green.
Mhm.
Maybe there's a small kind of path that some people have made, but it's a little bit crumbling.
There are dotted throughout the woods in Seven Spires. There are churches, which is weird, and that's where the town gets its name. There is there's the central village itself, which has a church very prominently placed in the center of the town, and then all around the edges of it, in the woods themselves, are these churches. You're walking past this kind of like old abandoned church, which is part of the stream as well. That sounds to me like you're kind of gazing into the abyss. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I would say that that's true.
Yep. Okay.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah. Let's roll dark.
Let's see. Oof. That would be 2.
That'd be a 2. Amazing. Oh, everyone remember to mark XP whenever you get a 6 or less, by the way. That's a 2. Okay. You're kind of walking through the woods, and you're trying to, you don't really know what you're trying to do, but except for just kind of like, you went there to try and get lost, try and kind of forget who you were.
Right.
And as you're walking through, you feel this pulse that goes out as Meriesk goes across the border. You don't know what that is, although you do see, you're sort of vaguely conscious of the headlights making a part of the forest a little bit close to the edge glow. And then everything kind of in your field of vision gets dark and darker and darker. It's like there's kind of the edges are fading in. And then you can see that the tree that's right in front of you, that you didn't even see there before, it's kind of pulsating. And there's a knot right in the center of the tree, kind of like a little hollow, the kind of place that squirrels might hide, and that sort of thing.
Sure.
That's kind of pulsing and getting kind of wider and wider and wider. And you think you can just see something moving in there when you snap out of it. Okay, I am going to hard frame to the next day at school. So, Mary, who would get there first?
I would get there pretty early.
Okay. So you're there early.
Yeah. So, but of the others, from my impression,
yeah.
probably would be Mulder, because there's something. She's got something to do, right? So
yeah. Okay. No, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I like the idea of usually she is quite late, so it's really odd that
Yes.
she's early today.
Yeah. What's your teacher called?
She's called Ms. Ms. Fortescue. She's quite posh.
Okay, Miss Fortescue.
Down now in this place.
Okay.
So she's an incomer.
Nice. Get some XP for using slang. Okay, how do you get on with her?
Not terribly well. I sort of do enough to not get in super bad trouble with my dad because he terrifies me a little bit. But I think she's the one who's constantly going to be like, "Oh, here's this the rich kid in town who thinks she can get away with everything." So there's a little bit of tension between she and I think that she's just this ratty incomer who doesn't know what she's on about.
Okay, so Fortescue kind of looks at you as you come in, like way ahead of everyone else. Excuse me. And she's like, decided to turn things around, have we?
Yeah, I guess I've decided to turn around a new leaf. And she said it was gives her a look like, this is not going to be a regular thing.
Okay. So you sit down. You're kind counting off people as they come in, and everyone that you'd expect to filter in filters in. So to Jago, you arrive, and Benneth, you turn up and kind of shuffle your way to the back, and everyone is there except Bethany. And you've been keeping tabs on people to make sure that they would turn up. So as much as last night you were trying to play it cool, you do take this kind of like at least semi-seriously, maybe just because your dad scares you. How much of the ritual and everything do you believe in?
I'd say she's bought into it. Yeah, she believes in this ritual.
Okay.
But then I think, yeah, a huge part of that is just wanting to please her parents, or her dad in this case.
Right, okay, cool. So when she's not here, you're kind of freaked out. And Stefan does come over to you. Marius, by the way, you did arrive early, but you are absolutely and completely lost. So you're just wandering around corridors, bumping into people, not sure exactly where you should be going. Also, you don't have a uniform. Everyone else here has a uniform. So sorry. Back to Melda. Stefan comes over to you. Where the fuck is Bethany?
I don't know where the fuck Bethany is. I thought you were supposed to be keeping tabs on her.
I mean, that's both of our jobs. I mean, it's not going to work if we don't have 16 people.
I know. I'm not an idiot. Jeez.
What do we do? What are we going to do? You're the fucking favorite. What are we doing now?
I don't know. I guess talk to her friends or something like that.
This is, incidentally, this is such a small town that this is... you are effectively all of the 16-year-olds in this town. You are this class and this year. So finding a replacement is not going to be something you can just do. So what's your plan? What are you doing?
I guess I'm going to cut costs to see if I can track her down.
Okay, cool. Benneth. Oh, hello. We have two Jessies. You're there in duo. But which one is the evil Jessie? Okay, so Benneth, you can see that Melda is looking really panicked, and that kind of hurts you just that little bit because you're secretly in love with her. What do you do? Dude, you're me.
Sorry. I don't know that I want to go directly to her. So I think I'm going to maybe reach out to... Maybe I just put my hand in front of me and tap Splana on the shoulder and say, is what's going on? Is she okay?
She's just stressed with party planning. You know how it is. It's the Queen for a Day thing tonight. Jesse, you still there? Oh, okay, I think we've lost Jesse, so we'll come back to him in a sec. Okay, Meliesk, you finally you finally find the right classroom, you think. And just as Lauren, what excuse has Melda given to leave the room?
It's a real convincing one. She's not feeling well.
Okay, cool. And just as you are both leaving, running into the room is Mariask, who is kind of completely out of breath and panicked from having been in the wrong place. And you guys bash straight into each other. What do you do?
I know. What's the character's name again? Melda. Yeah, Melda will absolutely bounce off of him and initially give that kind of like shock, and then just like a real mean glower, like, "How dare you?" Excuse you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's
I
like
think this.
muttering some weird apology under his breath, and is completely flustered, actually, like from like. I think this is the place, right? And then running straight into her, and like, yeah, great impression. That's what's going through his mind. Who, like, hasn't really recognized or realized who's in front of him.
Okay. I think Melda was trying to do a shutdown on you then when she kind of like just kind of glared at you. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's roll a shutdown.
10.
That's a 10. Okay, so on a 10, on a shutdown, you get to choose one from below. Either they lose a string on you. If they have no strings on you, you gain one on them. They gain a condition, or you take +1 forward. So what are you going to go for there?
I'll take a string on the new kid.
Okay. Okay, so there is this. You've just run straight into this frankly terrifying girl. However, Melda, it does strike you that if this kid is meant to be here, then you potentially have a replacement. Jago, you've noticed that Bethany is missing. And you've also, and you're putting 2 and 2 together with the phone call you got last night. How are you reacting to that?
I think I'm going to try and catch Melda before she gets out. Like I think the teacher and I have this kind of agreement where I just kind of wander around and she pretends I'm not there as much as possible. I'm going to try and use that. So I want to try and grab her before she gets out if I get a chance, because I think she's the only person who would have like a good idea of everybody else's business.
Okay, so this is before the bumping into each other's just happened.
That was just outside, was it? Sorry, I didn't realise that. I thought it was kind of as they. Oh
yeah, no, it's still all in the class. So are you doing that? You're doing that now, or?
Yeah. So I think there's this big like kerfuffle at the door, and that's going to be my chance to try and catch up with her.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right, let's have that scene.
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of gently tug your wrists to let you know that I'm there, and just kind of like whilst looking down and looking at you at the same time, kind of go, where's Bethany?
I think Jago is like maybe one of the few kids I tolerate in class. So she sort of straightens her hoodie and collar and is like, I don't know where Bethany is. Just a little bit freaky. I mean, it's kind of hard to lose anyone in this.
Well, you need her, don't you, for that fucked up thing you do?
But I mean, yeah, we did need her.
Listen, I spoke to her last night.
Oh,
she sounded pretty. She sounded pretty cut up, to be honest. And she said she knew about my mum. And
oh shit.
Yeah. So, do you think you can just let me know if you see her?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'll let you know.
Mariusk, you are now kind of picking yourself up, making your way through. There's a empty desk kind of like right in the middle of the room, which you can go for. You see, as you're kind of going through, people are kind of like smirking and laughing, and because you've made a pretty fucking terrible entrance as you came in. But there was one kid at the back who is Benneth. And Benneth, how are you reacting when she's coming through? When he's coming through, sorry.
I I just feel bad for her. So I see.
I've lost Jesse again. Okay, well he said that. Yep. Sorry, we got you. Sorry.
Okay. So I notice Mariette's coming in, and I just feel I kind of give a just a small smile.
Yeah. Okay. And that in that one moment is enough to just Mariette. That is enough to just. It's just that small little glimmer of friendship and hope that you kind of need, that someone that like not everyone in this class is laughing at you, and you're just going to latch the fuck onto that. You have a sympathetic token, or sorry, Jago, you have a sympathetic token on Marius, don't you? Okay, so when he came into the room, he dropped something.
I stumbled into Meldon and was immediately put down, and that gave you the chance, right, Jago? So I stumbled backwards against you, and that made first bump was like, oh, attention. The second bump was like the other kids laughing, but that's also when like either something dropped or maybe you could just pick my pocket. That could also.
No, I think you dropped it. I think it's like a welcome pack for the school. And it's got a map of the village, and it's got a map of the school, and it's got basically everything that you would need in order to know where you were.
Also my schedule.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to go.
Everything, yeah. All that kind of stuff. And I've just kind of stuck it in my blazer.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, and Benneth, sorry, we were talking. You were chatting about where Bethany was. Oh no, sorry, you were chatting about what was wrong with Melda, weren't you? With Tressa. Was it with Tressa?
No.
Okay, so let's do that scene, and then you dropped out.
With Splana, who sits in front of me.
Splana, sorry. Okay, cool. And Splana, Melda is one of your clique, isn't she? Yeah. Okay. What's your relationship with Splana normally like?
I think I've been trying to get close to her to get close to Melda.
Okay. And how have you been doing that? Have you just been? Excuse me. Sorry, carbonated drinks. How have you been trying to work on that? What's your game plan been there?
I think I've been trying to steal alcohol from my mom and give it to her. Sort of maybe try to hang out with her on the side. With Melda
that's
not
so
there.
Sweet and teenage.
Yeah.
That's okay. Right. So yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, she's just she's just stressed with the party planning and everything. And then Splana does look over and say, "You're coming tonight, right?" And that's news to you. You didn't know. You sort of assumed that you wouldn't be invited.
Right.
So how do you react to that?
I was like, "Oh, can I come? Is that okay? Is it okay? Are you sure? Did she ask for me to be there?"
Splana calls over, Melda.
Right, Splana?
I'm like having big ears here. Like I'm ruffling through my bag, but I'm like...
Yeah. Benneth didn't know that she was invited tonight. Benneth's invited tonight, right?
Melda will... Melda will go like, well, yeah, of course she's invited, and then look to her and give her like a smile, which is quite rare because Melda never smiles.
I think. Are you trying to turn her on then, or what are you? Or is it just like a? Yeah. 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 Okay. Let's go for that. Let's see how that goes. I think in the context of her being in love with you and not really talking to anyone else, I think that smile is probably enough. So that is roll plus hot.
Cool. That's an 8.
That's an 8. Okay, so turn someone on. Right. Okay, so Benneth, you can either give Melda a string or choose one of the following reactions. I give myself to you, I promise you something that I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward.
Oof. I'll give her a string, actually.
Yeah, give her a string. Okay, and how do you react to that?
I think I get a little flush. I'll take a little bit of the embarrassment as well. I think I just close my. Like, thanks. That means a lot.
Okay. The Fortescue. Okay, class. Everyone settle down. If that's okay with you. We have a new pupil here today who has just chosen to plunk herself down in Bethany's seat. There was another spare seat at the back of the table, but as we saw from him running straight into Miss Melda, apparently he is not the most... I've literally forgotten the word I was going to say. What's the word for someone perceptive of people? Stand up. And she just points at you, Marius.
Yeah, so, Marius stands up and, like, in his way too big clothes, like they're baggy, like the sleeves go way over his hands, and he's very much, looks completely out of place, like, right? It's kind of like the, here, good town folk. This is how awful the city kids are, kind of thing, right? And like not trying to look anyone in the eyes.
Okay. Come to the front, please, Mister. And it's Mister. And she asks you for your last name.
Query.
Mr. Query. Wouldn't be Janet Query, son, would it? And she says that with like a little distaste almost.
No, yes. That's my mom.
And where have you come from?
We just moved here from Brighton. And
she just says, and kind of brings you up to the front.
Yeah.
Now, class, we will start today with our prayer, as usual, and we will dedicate today's prayer to Janet's son. And she reads this prayer. Now, to everyone who's kind of from... Have all of the characters apart from Marius grown up in the village? Yeah, okay, cool. So you've heard this before. But what she says just sounds crazy as fuck to you, Marius, because she starts talking. She aside from the fact it's like praying at the start of school, which is just weird anyway. It's as far as you can tell, it's not like a Christian prayer. It's she's talking about bless our kindly neighbours and the gifts they bring upon us. Let us show them the way without which they should be lost. How do you react to that?
I think I'm almost starting to panic, but I've like my fight or flight response is basically play dead. Like I freeze and I try to find someone.
I am going to ask you to
keep my cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to keep your cool. So it's roll plus cold.
Yeah.
So just as the prayer's finishing, like if you look out to the class, I'm going. Just to rub that in.
Yeah, that's
how did you do?
A 7.
That's 7. Okay.
That's still not very good because it's keep your cool, right?
No, keep your cool games insight. That's okay. I am going to say that you can either stay there and you're going to go like just the flushest, brightest red as all this is happening, and you would gain a condition, which would be I think we'd just give you a condition like awkward new kid, or you can choose to fake something and like fake an illness or something and just leave the room altogether. So what are you going to do?
No, I think I'm taking this.
You're taking this. Okay, right.
Yes, I'm taking the
Okay,
condition.
so you take the condition awkward new kid. Right, we are gonna smash to it's break time. It's a little later in the day. It's like lunchtime. Where's everyone hanging out? Where is everyone right now?
By smoking behind the black shed.
Smoking behind the bike shed. Very nice, classic. Jago, where are you?
Same, but like slightly further away and like looking moody and on my own, leaning up against it. That's smoking thing.
Okie dokie. And where is Benneth?
I'm just I'm actually eating lunch, not smoking.
Okay.
But in kind of just the middle somewhere. Maybe there's a few pockets of kids, but I'm not really by anyone.
Okay, cool. And Mariesk, you are kind of wandering through the crowds of kids. Now, all of the kids in the entire village go to this one school. So you've got kids from sort of like 5 through to 16. So it's this weird thing where you've got some kids trying to be cool behind the bike sheds, but at the same time you've got like these virtual toddlers just like running around screaming at each other and just causing a ruckus. So you're trying to kind of make your way through there, and you see Benneth sitting kind of by herself, and you remember her as the one person who seemed to show you any sort of like kindness as you went to the room. What do you do?
Yeah, like I want to sidle up
Okay.
to her, and I think, yeah. So you're going to that party, and
okay. Benneth, you're not used to like.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Yeah.
Benneth, you're not used to like anyone sitting next to you at all. So how do you react when someone just kind of like comes over and sits down next to you? It's kind of like like he doesn't know that he's not meant to do that. So how do you react to that? Dude, you're on mute again.
Sorry, killing the mood.
Yeah. So how do you?
Hopefully?
Yeah. How do you react when someone just probably for like the first time in years comes over and sits down next to you?
I think I have to. I was like, oh wait, do you mean to sit here? Is this where you mean right?
Oh.
And then I make room.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's cool if you don't want to talk. You can just be silent.
No, please, no. Sit down. Go. You should sit down.
Yeah. So I do sit down and so I seem to have lost like these official things. I don't even know what's after lunch.
Okay, so you two start kind of going over like your schedules together. I think Benneth, you've got the schedule in the back of this your book that you have, like a kind of just like a general workbook, just kind of like stapled in the back. And as you flip it open, Mariesk, you see some poetry that Benneth has written in the back. Benneth, what's the poetry about? The awkward teenage poetry that you have there.
It's about it's about a raven.
Okay.
I want to grab it and read it. I'm like that's like catch my curiosity right away. It's like, ooh, what you got there?
Oh,
right?
This is yeah, you can.
Like
you
I'm
can
showing.
that.
So I want to use a string here. Like I'm showing genuine interest. Will you just let me read it? Because I'm like.
So he is tempting you at this point. So you can get the XP if you give him the poem.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay, get some XP.
Maybe I'm holding out to it a little too tight though, and I tear the end of it as he takes it out of my hand.
Oh, you two make me so sad. Okay, you read it, and actually, it's pretty good. But subtextually, it's about a raven, but subtextually, it's very much about Melda. So you don't know you don't know specifically it's about Melda, but you can tell that it's about that it's about either a boy or a girl. And how do you react to that? Because you're kind of crushing on her a little bit. So how does that make you feel?
That just makes it better, weirdly. Right? Like it's like I'm getting an intimate this is great. Like
I feel like there has to be something. I feel like there has to be something in that poem that reminds him of himself, like an eye color or.
That's nice.
That's nice. Also, like I sympathize. Right. This is kind of also living vicariously. Like I'm getting to experience your emotions. That's like almost as good as if you would have them for me.
Okay, I think Jesse, you are accidentally rolling a turn him up. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, so roll plus swap. Have you got that?
So that is not great. That is a 5.
That's a 5. Okay, remember to mark XP. Okay, so Benneth, last night when you were in the woods and you started having that vision of the tree, he's reading it, and you kind of you're looking at him, and then you kind of feel that darkness just pushing in again, and then you're back in the forest, and you see that tree in front of you, and where the knot had pulled wide, you can see these hands, these pale hands with like these fingers which are too long for human fingers, pulling themselves out, and you can kind of see this. It's dark, so you can't quite make it out, but you can see that the head of this thing is too long, and it appears to be wearing a crown. And then you flip it back, and he was talking.
Mariesk wide eyes.
Yes, yeah. Right, okay, let's go to the bike sheds. Okay, so what are you guys talking to each other in the bike sheds, or are you, Jago, are you like creeping, listening on the conversation that she's having with her clique? What's the situation there?
Yeah, if you're talking to your crew, then I think I'm trying to completely look cool and just away, but I'm totally listening. If that's what's happening.
Okay. What are you talking about with your clique, Melda?
I guess it's a mix of like we start talking about how like, oh shit, like we only got Bethany, and then it's like, oh well, maybe we can invite the new kid, and then Melda's like, oh yeah, we should definitely invite the new kid. Like, the more the merrier, right? Ha 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 ha. And then, but then the tenor sort of changes to like, oh man, like, I think like Bennett has a crush on you. Like, she's pretty happy when you invited her over to the party. And then Melda's like, oh, shut up, like, stop talking about that. It's embarrassing. Kind of like.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
I think she feels like really flattered, and maybe she does find Bennett kind of cute, but
Okay.
there's that awkward like social hierarchical divide at school where it's like,
Does Melda think of herself as straight?
not at all. I think she's but I
So
think
it's purely the social status thing that's it means you wouldn't go anywhere near her.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You get a phone call from your dad. You can see that your phone is ringing and it's your dad.
She's gonna look at it and be like, oh, fuck me, and then she will answer it because she's under Dad's thumb, right? So she also yeah. And in fact, Tess, is it Tess is one of your crew, or is it Tressa? Sorry, is one of your crew. Does say to you, I think you better answer that. You don't want him to get like he did last night. Yeah, and she's like, oh, fuck, you're right, and she's like, hi, Dad.
Sources tell me that someone did not turn up to school today.
Well, yeah,
we can't find Bethany. Yes, Bethany. We can't find her anywhere. I've sent out people to find her. She's gone. She's nowhere to be seen. She has, as they say, ghosted. And frankly, no one's meant to ghost until this evening. What are you doing about it?
Dad, it's fine. A new kid turned up today. We'll invite them along. It'll be fine.
Make sure they come. Make them feel welcome. Do you understand?
Dad.
Say the words. And he repeats this rhyme to you, which is, our kindly neighbours come to us now as it has ever been. The least of them is the king to us, and the king shall have his queen. And he says, say it. And I guess you don't have to actually learn the rhyme. You can just say that you. Do you repeat it or how?
She repeats it, but it's got that kind of like subversive. Like she's like they don't know, like sort of sing-song rhymey kind of. I get it, Dad.
Yeah. Jago, you overhear her saying that down the phone, and this is something that you've come across in your research into it. How much have you been looking into, or when did you realise that your mum's disappearance was specifically tied to the party?
I suspected it immediately, and like that is what set me on my way to Gothdom and to reading the Satanic Bible and anything Wiccan that I could get my hands on, and so like that rhyme I think came up pretty quickly. I've just not been able to piece together, I think, like its significance yet.
Okay, what do you think is going on here?
So Jago just suspects the powers that be. Like he's got this big conspiracy theory for this tiny village, like the Wicker Man kind of like this great thing with everybody, all these powers, like trying to get this stuff done, and like he's kind of excited that he's got a mission.
Okay.
That's as far as it goes, I think. But he's very suspicious of Melda because of who her father is, and so I think when I hear that rhyme being said, like I'm immediately right next to you, like you probably like press the button on your phone and look up, and I'm there.
Yeah, and that does happen. Okay, how do you react to that?
She looks up and says, kind of sarcastically, like, "What's on the answer?"
Get XP. Well done. Sorry, for Jesse and Matthias, I don't think you were there when I said that, but I did say you could get XP if you managed to work in any of the Cornish slang.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then she'll give him like a look, like, "What are you doing in my space?"
Like, I was on. It was on can be strangely threatening if it's said in the wrong way.
I'm saying so he's completely deadpan, and he says, "What do you know about that rite?"
You have to ask my dad about that. Jeez, why are you so interested in it?
I
think that's a pretty clear shutdown. Let's roll a shutdown.
I actually felt shut down, so yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be mean.
What have you got there?
That's geez, 5.
Oh my gosh, no one's rolling it. How's everyone doing for XP? Because there have been a lot of failed rolls. You're good. Remember, when you get to 5 XP, you get an advance. I'm going to say at this point, so you got the Jago. I think you can hammer the under Daddy's thumb bit if you want, and I think you can. Yeah, if you want to go to at that angle. So if you want to go from there.
Yeah. So I think first of all, he goes like, my mum died. Which is like his immediate response anytime someone tries to shut him down.
I think and people do who are also there smoking, including people in your clique, even do kind of go. Yeah, and I think you're going to get the condition. I think you're going to get the condition heartless, Melda.
Excellent.
Okay, so yeah, how are you taking that forward, Jago?
And he's like, you don't know what you're doing with all that stuff. You don't know what your dad has got you into. You don't understand. You shouldn't be messing with forces like this.
How does that make you feel, Melda?
I think she's gonna like sort of shrink back a little bit and be like, I know what I'm doing, and sort of like just keep aggressively smoking. Like, just shut up.
Okay. You do also need to get that extra body. So the bell goes for the end of lunch. So if you're going to speak to Mariesk, you need to kind of speak to him now.
Yeah, she's going to make a beeline for Mariesk.
Let's cut back to Mariesk and Benneth. Benneth is kind of freaking out.
Yes.
What are you doing, Benneth?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I snap back from this, and I almost feel like it makes me want to just kind of reach out in the way that I was doing before when that all first started happening. So I wonder if it would trigger.
Yeah. I think it absolutely could. Yeah, when this does
scanners. Yeah. So I'm gonna.
Remind me what scanners does.
I don't.
Yep. So scanners roll dart to invade someone else's mind.
Okay.
On a 10 and up, take a string on them, and they must honestly answer one question.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if I can get it against Mariesk there.
Okay, so let's see what happens there. Then is you kind of Mariesk, you're kind of trying to shake Benneth out of whatever's happening, and as she kind of snaps at it and locks eyes with you, you feel her eyes just kind of like pour straight into you, and you kind of feel this connection between the two of you.
So that's an 8.
That's an 8. Okay, what do you get on an 8 for that?
So I take a string on them and choose one. So they can either take a string on me, or I can give myself the condition creepy, or we each take 1 harm. I think we should each take 1 harm, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. And you get to ask a question. Okay, so what causes the harm there?
I think I'm trying to I'm getting concerned. What's happening with you? I'm like, hey, you okay? I'm getting too close, and maybe you have like a physical response as you're coming out of your vision. and looking like.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I feel like I should lash out in some way, like punch or tear.
Right, yeah.
Or
You lash out, and Mariesk, you don't mean to, but just kind of instinctively you push back, and you're both sitting on this bench, and so Benneth just kind of collapses back on the floor. So each take 1 harm, and you have like a fuck ton of strings on each other if you want to make that even worse somehow. Feel free. You don't have to.
I mean, I feel like we ought to. That's a good invitation.
I think we should.
Yeah. So what's the bad thing that can shouldn't happen, but something like it's like a freaky accident, right? Where you're like, oh yeah, you miss your step, you fall, but then you fall onto a nail or something like that.
Yes,
I think
that's. Yeah, I think. Benneth, you said that you had been smuggling alcohol in for Slana, yeah?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, a bottle rolls out of my bag or something.
Yeah, and smashes, and you smash right back on it. Yeah, so you kind of get up, and you've kind of got blood all over your face, kind of coming down for you, and you kind of look briefly like those statues that you get of Jesus when he's in the Passion of the Christ, but people don't react like normal people. They kind of point and turn and laugh at you, and everyone thinks this is just hilarious that this shit has happened again. What do you do? So Bennett takes 2 harm.
Ooh, is there
rather than 1
harm? Is there anyone? There's got to be some kid close to me. I feel like I need to just push them out of the way and then run out of the school.
I mean, I'm about to scramble close to you to like I'm shocked by this. I'm like, are you okay? Right? So I'm coming close again, worried like how bad is this gonna go?
Yeah, I think that should happen, especially with him crushing on you. I think that's great if you kind of push him aside and just kind of run off. What do people call you in the town? What's their nickname for you? Because they got to have a nickname for you.
Something like newt or lizard or some weird reptile thing.
I like newt because that's people start chanting that and kind of pointing and jeering and laughing as you run off.
And I'm standing there with your with your poem in hand.
Yeah, you've still got the poem. Okay, Mulder. So you come over to Mariesk just as this is happening. So what do you do?
So everyone's like bloody and stuff.
He's not bloodied. He's just kind of like Mariesk. That you're just kind of like, what the fuck is this day? He's got a poem actually, so you can see he's holding a poem.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I guess she's gonna wander over and be like, everything all right here?
And you can't help but glance at the poem, and you look down at it. You assume he's written it, and it appears to be very clearly about you.
Oh. She's gonna like eye it up and be like, and so she's gonna like have a glance at the poem and then have a glance at him and be like, hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Oh, hey. I immediately cower some.
And I think Melder interprets all of this as like you're crushing on her and you're going to be really easy to get to go to the party.
Okay, so are you going to...
I mean, this could even be I'm turning you on and some kind of, I'm immediately responding with submission way.
Okay, yeah. Does that sound like it would be Melder's thing?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, right, yeah, so we'll turn her on.
I think the poem is an acrostic, isn't it? It spells out your name down the
that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that's perfect.
And I note. I don't know her name even, I think, right? So, yeah.
Yes, you have no idea that this is happening. You don't know that she is thinking it's about you, about her.
Yeah, but I do roll a 10.
I love Monsterhearts.
Ooh.
You rolled a 10. Okay. So you gain a string on her. So you are actually kind of touched by that, I'm guessing. Or how does it make you feel? Why does it give you a string? Why does it give him a string on you?
Maybe it might be fun to have around play with. Socially, I mean. Maybe.
For Melba, it's definitely like narcissism.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so a little bit narcissism, cool. And there might also be that thing that you really need him right now because you need that 16th person at the party.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so do you have to now choose? I give myself to you. I promise you something I think you want, or I get embarrassed or awkward.
I'm totally gonna promise something I think you want.
And what is that?
So she's gonna like say like, hey, so I get you're new in town. There's a party happening later. Would you like to come with me and be my +1?
Oh, that's nice. You're not just inviting him; you're inviting him as a +1. That's good.
Yeah.
Mary
is like so fucking confused right now.
Okay. Benneth, you had a question to ask. So sorry, what is your question?
Yeah. Let's see. So I think I can ask any question, right?
You can. Yeah.
Oh, I need to ask a question. I think of Maria. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious as to why he thinks he's here.
Okay. Marius, do you want to answer that now, or do you want to think on it?
Why I think I'm here?
Yeah, and that's just going
like
to be
why you arrived. Yeah, why you're in this town.
So I will make this more complicated by saying, you deep down, it's not, the answer won't be because my mum brought me here.
No, of course not. I think his immediate response would be because I'm the kid with the worst luck in the world, right? But I think it actually is something more sinister and brooding. Like, I think I'm here for someone else's purpose.
Okay, neat. And the reason that you think that is you remember your mum and your dad arguing before they got divorced and arguing about the town and why she left, and it's going back to this party. And so even though you don't finish about this party, there's like something at the back here.
Yeah.
Right. And Jago, what are you doing as all this is happening?
I think when I heard everyone chanting Newt, I just kind of poked my head around to see what was going on. And so I'm just kind of making mental notes about all these kind of because Jago feels like he can affect things after the fact. So he's just kind of making all these notes about all these relationships so that he can try and manipulate people when he gets the chance, I think.
Okay, sweet. So we kind of have you slightly Machiavellian looking over this as all this is happening. Okay, let's take a quick break here, guys, if everyone is happy to do so. We'll come back in, say, 5 minutes, and we're going to hard cut to the party itself. If everyone wants to... Sorry, Lauren, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I just have one question because it's burning in the back of my brain. Was Bennett there to see me ask if the new kid would be my +1?
Oh, I think she has to be. I think that has to be the last thing you see as you go in. And perfect. that counts as a let's roll a quick shut someone down there.
For me?
For you, yeah.
Cool. I'll do it super quick.
Once Lorna's doing that, what is everyone's XP at currently? You're 0, okay.
I also have the question because I have down the rabbit hole. When you go poking your nose in affairs not meant for your kind. I'm not sure if that triggered when with the whole poem stuff and going for that.
I don't think it's triggered yet. I think something weirder has to happen for that to work.
Yeah.
Lauren, what did you get on the shutdown?
I got a 9.
You got a 9. Okay, cool. So you can choose to, they either lose a string on you. If they have no strings on you, you gain 1, they gain a condition, or you take +1 forward against them.
I like the idea of giving them a condition.
Okay, so what condition are you going to give to Benneth?
Slighted?
I kind of like, yeah, or like heartbroken or something like really like teenage dramatic.
But how about betrayed?
I think we should give betrayed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is so good because like we don't talk. No.
And in fact, actually, when she asked you to the party earlier, you should have each got a string on each other then as well, because I think that would have triggered your hopeful thing.
That's mine. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that would have now switched to betrayed. And I think you're going to give her the condition. What condition are you going to give her back? Like untrue, something like that? Does that make sense?
Two-faced?
Or like manipulative?
Yeah.
Or
Two-faced, maybe.
Two-faced.
Or...
Two-faced. Cool. Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break now. Everyone can get a free advance because we're not going to get to do XP otherwise. So everyone pick one extra advance from your character sheet or another character sheet if you want to pick a move from a different playbook, and we will discuss what that is when we get back.
I just want to have a heartless two-faced under daddy stuff.
That is perfect. I love that. Okay, just guys, see you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So what other games are you guys in this weekend?
I'm in like 3 Monsterhearts games. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Excellent. Who else are you playing with?
Oh, so many great people. Actually, I'm having a hard time keeping track of all of it because I'm in about 10 games this weekend.
Oh my god. Okay, cool. I know I'm only in 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's what I meant to do.
I feel like I'm playing with Yoshi and some other people. When I'm playing Bite Me with Jason and Becky, which I'm also looking forward to.
Yeah,
So
no, that looks really good.
Monster Hearts, but with them. Yeah, I'm gonna be a sad prodigal.
How about you, Jesse? What else are you in?
I've got Dust Fog and Glowing Embers this evening.
Oh, exciting! I didn't actually. Is that Slade running that?
Yeah, Slade's running it.
Yeah,
It should be fun.
Awesome. Yeah. The book shouldn't be too long now. Were you one of the Kickstarter backers?
Actually, so I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, what do you want? Are you gonna have this out before the con?" And he was like, "Just send me your drive-through email address." Nice. So he sent me a free download. Yeah, it was awesome.
Excellent. I need to do some little, like, the teensiest bit of extra work on the book before it can be printed. Nice. It should hopefully be with backers soon, if any backers are walking in this happening. Sorry, it's my fault.
It looks great, by the way.
Thank you very much. Okay, right. What extra moves did everyone take?
I'm taking Can't Save Myself.
Oh, nice. Okay, what does that do?
It's from the Infernal, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's, when somebody saves you from forces too powerful for you to reckon with, they mark experience and you gain a string on them.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's such a plea. Like, you're going, please do this to me in a minute.
Yes, it is. That's a sign, isn't it? And Lauren, what did you take?
I took Bolt Loyalty. I can give a side character a string on me to tempt them to do my bidding.
Oh, nice.
The MC will tell you what sort of bribe, threat, or coaxing it'll take to get what you want.
Okay, cool. And Jesse, what did you take?
I took Push, so I can roll with Volatile instead of Hot to turn someone on by using Empathic Projection to fuck with their head.
Ooh, that's amazing. Our relationship's gonna get so intense.
And Youan, what did you take?
I've got all the hexes now. I've got
all the hexes. All the hexes are belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's go to it's night that same day, and you're getting ready for the party, and let's go to Melda first. What are your party preparations?
Oh, party what? Sorry.
What are you doing to prepare for the party?
Oh, she's gonna spend way too long in the bathroom getting ready, and to pick up our new kid. Maybe in like her, maybe not in her dad's like good car, but like her dad's like second car, because their dad obviously has multiple cars, even though it's a really tiny town.
Mm-hmm. So you'd like borrowing one of your dad's cars then?
Yeah. He may not know about it.
Okay,
maybe he does.
Okay.
This is
I think you could always give him that string in the sec to borrow the Porsche rather than yours.
That's a good point.
Okay. He knocks on the door, or someone knocks on the door at the bathroom.
And she's gonna be like,
"Are you ready?"
A minute, and she's like doing like makeup face. Yeah, just give me a second.
Okay. You know what you have to do this evening to attract their attention, don't you? There needs to be. It can't just be a party. There needs to be emotion. There needs to be betrayal. There needs to be joy. It needs to be a bacchanal. They're used to something more than what we normally have here. If they don't come, then it's all for naught. Do you understand?
I understand, Dad.
Are you gonna do that string to get the Porsche?
Be like, Hey, Dad, you know what would be really great and impressive and inspire a lot of emotion and stuff? Is if I borrowed your Porsche.
Okay, he is going to require. What's he going to require? We will. Does someone want to suggest what he would ask for there? Because I can't think of anything good.
Maybe like all I can think of is like, okay, but I like A, it needs to come back in a good condition, and B, like you need to make sure tonight happens to perfection. Like I'm gonna give you this because it has to go off without a hitch, kind of.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can have it. But if this doesn't go well, then I suggest you look for somewhere else to live. Does that? How does that sound?
And I think he's gonna open the door. Yeah.
And you look at him, and he's just deadly serious.
She's gonna look at him and be like, Dad, it'll be fine. I get it.
Okay, cool. He hands you the keys, and we will cut to Meriesk. Meriesk, what are your party preparations?
I think I think he's like his party preparations are he looks at the clock. She's gonna be here soon, and he starts shoveling in the food. And Janet's going like, "What's up with you?" Right?
Yeah.
Grabbing a jacket or something, like, I have a party to go to.
I mean, that's great. You're making friends already. What sort of party is this? What does your house look like now that you've just moved in? So
there's two boxes everywhere.
Okay, you got like boxes. I think at this point you're actually sitting on boxes because your mum forgot to put furniture basically in the rental property.
And I've been like rummaging through boxes because I'm looking for something at least decent to wear.
Cool.
Like, where's my good shirt, right? Like that one shirt that if I
love that he has a good shirt.
Yeah, and it's a yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you see Janet kind of like some cogs going, and she's like, "Wait, what's the date?" And you're like, "It's November. Oh, it's October 20th." Wait, that's not the Queen for a Day party, is it?
I don't know. It's a kind of strange title, right?
No, you can't go to that.
And he's like, "What? What do you mean?"
I mean, you can't go. That's not for you. What do you do?
I get angry. I get angry because I'm like, well, like just. We were driving here just yesterday, and you were like, "It's gonna be fine," and I'm making friends, I think, but now I can't. I'm going, Mom. I'm going.
Let's roll a. Lauren just. Just emailed you. Yeah. Do you bring that up at all? I don't think she texted you at the point that little message came in on the thing saying, "On my way." In fact, I think she might even text you exactly that.
Yeah, and I hold that to her face.
Okay, cool. Roll a shutdown.
Yeah.
What did you get?
Is that a 5? Yeah. 6 minus. So a 5.
That's a 5. Okay. You do not get to talk to me like that. You go to your room now. I know we haven't assigned rooms yet, but go upstairs, pick a room. That's your room. You go in it and you don't come out. Do you understand me? You are grounded. You have been here one day, and I can't believe this already. We're meant to be together and like starting again, and you just gonna pull this shit. I told you can't go. And she just starts clearing away the dishes and says, "Now upstairs. You're grounded. Go." What do you do?
I go upstairs.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll cut back to that in a sec.
Yeah.
What are Jago? What are your preparations for the party? I assume you're going to the party, but probably not for the same reason as everyone else.
I think I'm probably going to go to the party, but not be in the party as much as kind of skulking around the party.
Okay.
But before that, like to prepare, I think. So, how close are our houses, mine and Marius?
She's next door. Sorry, he's next door.
Okay, so you might be able to hear some like booming cannibal corpse coming through the wall, opening, double bass drums and all this kind of like, real death metal. And
nice.
In my room, like to prepare for the party between school and then, I've got all the candles lit and I've got all my books out. And okay. I'm just kind of racking my brains trying to cross-reference like this part, the Queen for a Day party and kind of any kind of sacrifice and those kind of things.
Make me a gaze into the abyss.
Yeah. What am I using there?
That is dark.
Dark. Thank you. Oh, 7.
Okay, so the visions you get are alarming. So you're going through all these books, and you realise that there is something wrong with the party, and the something that is wrong with the party is that this party happens every year. It's kind of like a Leavers Day thing for the final year in that school, except every 5 years a girl goes missing. And 15 years ago it was your mum. Your mum had you quite young, so she was still at school 15 years ago. But yeah, and that's what you get. And whilst you and when you get that, you kind of you trace it back and back and back, and you get this. This has been going on, so it's not just your mum, and it's not just the 2 people that disappeared the 5 years and like 10 years ago and 5 years ago, which you didn't pick up on because you didn't know them. But you spot them, but you also spot that it's been happening for literally hundreds of years, since the foundation of the town probably, and this freaks you the fuck out.
Yeah, so the really old ones are in like Doomsday Book kind of collections.
Yeah, it's going back that far. It's sort of like it's these. Yeah, you see, you've got like newspapers as far back as the newspapers go reporting on it, and then you've got kind of just like village journals and stuff like that, and one sheets.
Parish brochure, isn't it? Like it's just a few.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like a black and white.
Yeah.
Picture on the front,
and then you'll get back to like this
sentence, like we're like this really dismissive thing. Like it's a shame that this person couldn't be here anymore.
Yeah.
It's really creepy. Nice.
And you look towards the woods where you know the party's going to be. Benneth, what are your potty preparations? How are you feeling right now? You didn't really. What did you do for the rest of the day at school? Actually, after that awful thing happened at lunchtime.
I think I went to the nurse and got a leave to go home and take care of my bleeding head.
Okay.
So I've been tending to that. And I feel like I've just been stewing on the fact that Melder has jilted me.
Okay.
In my mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to do the girl who takes off her glasses and now she's hot kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get myself.
Okay, cool. So I'm guessing you don't really have going out clothes. So are you like, where have you got your dress from?
I
assume you're going in
I feel like I was
Are you going to dress? Sorry, that was just an assumption, but I was channeling Carrie.
Yeah. Nope, that's fine. I feel like I'm rummaging through my mom's old stuff.
Okay. As you're rummaging through, your mum's very religious, and she's always been attending the church that's at the centre of the town every Sunday, as expected. But she also on like special occasions would go out to one of the churches in the woods and worship there. Now, you don't go yourself. You'd always assumed that she was just straight up Christian. But as you're rummaging through her dresses and stuff like that, you find something weird that makes you think that it's not straight Christianity. What do you find?
I think I find like a figurette made out of sticks, like a twined together like effigy figure.
Okay, cool. And the effigy it's got like a little doll's outfit on, and you don't see this, but what we cut back to some of the newspaper clippings that Jago has, and it is wearing the outfit that the last girl was wearing when she went missing 5 years ago.
Perfect.
Lauren, I think we should be fine time-wise. We might be like 5-10 minutes, hopefully, over. Okay, right. The Porsche pulls up outside, Mariesk. You're in your room. There's a Porsche outside with the popular girl in it. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I've like thrown myself onto the bed, like frustrated, and still have my phone and like expecting that text message, and then I look over and I've my other stuff on the bed, and there's that poem, right?
Yep.
And I think we see like him like very almost lovingly stroking the page.
Okay.
And then there's like a decision, and I think we just hear the window being pushed open, right? Like the camera stays on the poem and him scuffling off of the bed and
nice. And is he doing that so that he can go with Melda, or is he doing that because he knows that Benneth is going to be there?
It's because of Benneth, because that's the thing, right? That's what made him cross the line to disregard what his mom said.
Nice. Okay. Benneth, I think you can get a string on Mariesk. Okay. So you climb down the. There's like a trellis down there. I'm gonna say that is a keep your cool, because you are literally climbing out of a first story window to escape from being grounded.
Yeah. Yes, that's a 3.
Okay.
Oh my god.
No, you're in your car, just kind of like, burr, 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 and when suddenly there's a boom on top of your car. What do you do?
I think
you actually see the roof go in a little bit, and you can give a little shriek.
Yeah, Melda's gonna, first of all, like, oh, scream, and then B just be like, oh, fuck. Like, Dad's gonna kill me.
I think Mariesk, you can take a harm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a roll off of the roof and then like?
Yeah. Mariesk lands next to you, kind of having rolled off the roof. What are you doing? What are you doing, Melda?
Well, because she's heartless, she's just gonna be like, "You're paying for that." Like, you didn't know how much hot.
Are you doing bought loyalty there? Do you think?
Yeah, that sounds like it. Yeah.
Okay. What would? Oh no, that's for a side character. Sorry, that's for a side character. So you would have to spend a string on him to get him to literally pay for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Mariesk, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, carry on.
She says, like, you're paying for that. Like, she is not too bothered about it because her family is rich. So.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, Marius, what do you do? Are you getting in?
Yeah, like I'm trying to collect myself, and I think I just follow at this point, right? Let's see. I probably need her to say, "Get in." Like, what are you waiting for, right? But then I'm immediately, yes, right.
Yeah, I think Melda probably does do a little.
Yeah.
Okay, right, you get him. Right, and you drive. Do you know where the party is, Marius?
I have no idea.
No. Okay, right. So you're expecting to drive to like a club or like her house probably, or just somewhere like that.
Yeah.
She's driving into the woods, and you're on like a trail in the woods, and a Porsche is not meant to drive into the woods, so it's kind of as you go up, and you're going up this dirt trail, and there is, as you get quite deep into the woods, there's what you can only describe as an abandoned mansion, which is just kind of at the centre of this woods, and does the party start without you, Melda?
No.
No. Okay. Right. Okay. So it's dark when you get there, and there's like this little moment where you're like, "Is she going to kill me?" Yeah. Benneth, how are you getting there?
How far away is it from my house? Could I walk?
Yeah, you can walk. It's probably like a 15-minute walk.
Okay. I'll say I'm going to do that then.
Okay, cool. You're walking, and as you're walking through the woods, you feel that thing that you felt the other night, where you kind of felt the pressure walking in. Only you can feel that there's like, it feels like there's someone watching you. What do you do?
I feel like, well, first I'll just look around and see if anyone's there. I'm assuming not. So I feel like I'm just gonna yell out, "Who is there? Who's out there? What are you doing?"
And you can hear like you can hear someone coming through the brush towards you, and there's this kind of like inhuman growling that goes with it. Yeah.
I start running the opposite direction, wherever I need to go to get away from it.
Let's roll run away.
Is a 7.
Okay, so you get to choose. So you get away, but you get to choose one. You run into something worse. You cause a big scene, let somebody work because you're on your own, or you leave something behind. What are you going to go for?
Oh, I lied. Actually, it's 6. It's 6.
It's
so
6.
It's even worse.
Okay. Right. So you're running, and you can hear. You don't look back, but you can kind of hear this thing is always behind you. And I mean, do you look back?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. And you can then suddenly arms are around you, and you look down and you see those pale arms with the fingers that are too long, and you hear it speak behind you. And it's not speaking English. You don't know what language it's speaking. It's not a language that you've ever heard before, except you understand it. And it's saying, "Not yet." And then it's gone. Jago, what are you doing? How are you getting there?
What's that?
Sorry, I was just asking how Jago's getting to the party.
Jago has a scooter.
Of course he does. He's scooting in the woods.
Yeah, so he's like bumping around the on the gravel, not gravel, on the dirt track.
Yeah,
to get there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he has a backpack, and his hood up. He has his hood
okay,
up
cool.
with a helmet over the top of his head.
Okay. I think by the time you get there, I think because a scooter is inadvisable wood trek stuff, the party's kind of started. So you, as you're going towards the house, the lights are on by this point, or the mood lighting is on by this point, and you can hear the. Lauren, what's the party like inside? And Marius, as you bring him in, I'm going to say we're going to cut forward to like when the party is kind of a little bit more in motion.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's got oh geez, I'm tossing it between like real dark, like kind of like metal music, and or like sort of poppy like EDM. But either way, that the atmosphere is like kind of dark. Like maybe there's some and or maybe they've hooked up a generator with like some soft like pink, blue, yellow like lighting as well. And otherwise, it's like a weird mix of dingy and pastel, and that's it.
Okay, pastel goth. That's the thing. Okay, so you've got everyone is there apart from Jago and Benneth. People are. What are people doing at the party? What's
they're
going on?
like awkward teenage dancing, like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So there's. Okay, you know that thing in movies where if you shoot something in slow motion, it looks much cooler than it actually is. So if you like shoot a party in slow motion, it just looks like the best party ever. Let's just imagine that lit by pastel as you're going in. So like there's people kind of like doing like a little bit of mosh pit, people kind of like jumping up and down. There's a couple snogging in the corner and kind of like passing a pill between their mouths as they kiss. So it's all that sort of thing going on. What are you doing to rev people up?
She's definitely like hanging on the drinks and maybe a little bit extra.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And yeah, just making sure the music's up. And she may or may not like instigate some stuff with people, like fights or just make out with someone or something like that to make it even.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Roll me a roll. Yeah. Roll me a turn someone on just on one of your
everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Roll a collective turn someone on for the crowd, basically.
7. It was almost a 5.
That's 7. Okay. I'm going to say that they all give you what you think you want, which is that they just party that a little bit harder. See, the party's really going. It's quite, for a teen party, which is usually, frankly, they're kind of shit. It's actually intense, and it looks more like everyone hopes their parties were, basically, more than they actually were. Jago, you're scooting up to the house. You can see the music is kind of pounding out. The lights are on. And just as you're getting there, you see Benneth running into the house, like not like running, I'm late running, like scared running. What do you do? What do you both do?
Into the party itself?
Like up to the house.
I think I kind of skid the moped like just in front of you, and kind of like as if he was a hero in an action movie. Goes, you don't want to go in there. Like, yeah.
I think that in these circumstances is going to give you a string on each other and give you the condition hopeful.
Okay.
So what kind of state are you in as like?
Yeah. What happens? Let's have a little bit of that scene.
I feel like when you pull up in front of me, I like catch myself because I'm surprised actually to see someone there. And then it's you. I'm like, I feel a little awkward about it. Just given that you've been bullying to me.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Hopeful that maybe things are turning around. Maybe you don't hold it against me anymore.
Yeah. To be honest, it's like it's less about you than it is his self-image. You know, he just wants to kind of, So yeah, but the impression that he's trying to give is certainly one of like knowing what's going on.
Benneth, you didn't even realise that you brought it with you, but you still have that stick finger in your hand with the clothes on it from the girl that went missing 5 years ago. And Jager, you see this.
So like, yeah, you don't want to go in there. It's not safe.
What do you mean? Why is it not safe? What do you know about this that would tell you that it's not safe?
What's that? What have you got there?
Oh, I didn't even realize I brought this with.
It's
nothing. It's just.
I try and if you let me, I'll snatch it off you.
What neither of you see is Tressa is watching you from outside the party smoking, and she texts Myrtle. So, I'm sorry, I've got your name completely wrong there. What's your character's name? What's your character's name, Lauren? Melda. And she texts Melda to say that Jago is outside and he's trying to stop Benneth from coming in. So what do you do?
I think she gets that and she's like, the fuck? And like, we'll just make a beeline for outside.
Okay, cool. So you're heading out.
Like, feel the sitch, yeah.
Okay, Miriesk, Melda has just got a text and is just like suddenly. Had you been paying much? Had you been paying much attention to him since you got here, Melda?
Oh, sorry. You cut out for like a second. My internet's.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right.
How much attention have you been paying to Miriesk since you got here?
Not much. Like I kind of was like, well, my goal is to get him here, and now he's here.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. So you see her leave. She's the only person that you know here, basically.
Yeah. I did ask her about Benneth earlier. Like that's most like we didn't have any real other conversations. I've just been strolling around the party like looking for Benneth, right? And like and like been every room 3 times now, and like I don't know anybody. I'm not talking to anybody, and there's not much interest there. So
okay, cool.
When she leaves, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go look. I'm just
okay.
Yeah.
And actually, when you do try and walk around the party, everyone is kind of shunning you. People are kind of like because you have that awkward new kid condition, so they're sort of like actively turning away from you, and you're feeling that this should have been like this big thing, but it's that sort of loneliness in the crowd thing. Yeah. And as you see Melda go outside, you do hear her mutter something. If you don't mind me saying this, Lauren, something about like fucking Benneth or something like that. Or, yeah. Is it okay?
I was just thinking that, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, cool. Right, so you two are arguing outside. Melda's just turning up, and Miriesk, what are you doing?
I'm trailing Melda.
You're trailing Melda. Okay, cool. So you're heading out there as well. Okay, so all 4 of you are there. And what's happening?
I feel like I'm fighting a little bit with Jago about trying to get inside.
And I think Melda's gonna like walk right past it and just like grab Benneth's hand.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Oh, interesting.
What, and like drag her into the party pretty much?
Yeah, that's the intent. Like, you're coming inside. Like, just ignore this guy.
Okay.
I thought you were here with someone.
With me. Anymore.
Except
okay.
I'm like a couple paces behind.
Yeah. Lauren, I'm going to have you roll a turn someone on and a shut someone down at the same time. So you are turning down Bethan and you are shutting down Miriesk.
Awesome. Hang on 1 second. I lost my dice roller. Ah, there it is. So this is, I guess I'll do the turn someone on first.
Okay.
Is a 9.
I was going to say I have hopeful if you want to bump that up. If you want to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can bump that up to a 10 if you want.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. Thank you. I'll bump that up.
Okay.
Should I roll the shut someone down as well now, or do we want to resolve?
Yeah, roll that at the same time, yeah. Yeah, because I think you're simultaneously doing both without necessarily realizing it.
And then that's also a 10 on the shut someone down.
Ooh. Okay, I would have shut someone down on a 10. Where's my sheet?
I'm playing such a main person. This is good. I'm good at playing main characters, so this is actually very exciting for me.
Excellent. Can someone? I've lost my my PDF. Can someone tell me what shut someone does down on a 10?
Really, it's on a 10 up. Choose from one below. So I think it's just like I get to choose versus they choose.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, choose.
I would like to. I would like to give the poor new kid a condition.
Okay. What condition are you going to give to Miriask?
Like lonely, or shunned, or something like that.
I think shunned. Shunned with the party outside as well. With like the party coming off as well. Okay, and it was a 10 on the turn someone on. So how does that play out with you two?
Ooh,
I feel like my hand needs to, since she has my hand, I feel like my hand needs to soften, and I sort of let her lead me wherever she wants me to go.
She might even do that, like
okay, cool.
fingers like this.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, and you get the string. You get a string on her as well. Okay, so Jago and Miriask are left outside as those two go back into the party. What are you guys doing?
I mean, this is the worst, right? Inside the party, if you get shunned, you're still inside the party. There's loud music and other people, so you just think about. And here it's like I'm a couple of paces behind, and it's like, yeah, you don't belong, right? So I'm standing there, and I'm like, and now like it all comes. I'm realizing everything now. Like, going against my mother's wishes, doing damage from an expensive sports car. That whole thing with Benneth must just be nothing would, and I mean, those are just the highlights of the day, right? I mean,
oh, my heart is breaking for poor Miriask.
So I have I have the straw doll in my hand now, the straw effigy of my mum, and I think I'm extremely confused by this like big mess of things, and like I suddenly look up and those two have gone, and I'm left with this guy who I'm
sitting down on.
He's like a little way off.
Okay,
he's like a little way off, and because he was just coming out of the party. You were trying to stop people getting into the party.
Okay, so I think what happens is that I don't quite recognise you, so I come forward to ask you what's going on, and as I get close enough, I realise that you are that new guy from this morning, and I have no reason to talk to you, so I just kind of go, and I make my way into the party.
Oh, that's awful. Okay, that happens, and Miriask, you're like, fuck this, and you just kind of walk. I'm assuming you might be crying at this point. Actually, does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I haven't realized, but I am. Right?
That
kind
okay,
of
cool.
thing. I'm like, and also kicking the gravel here on the grounds, and
as you're going, you're kind of like stomping back home and stomping through the woods, and you realize you don't know where you're going, and you look up, and in front of you is this thing, and it's very pale, kind of lit by the moonlight that's streaming through the trees. It looks almost like it's made out of pale wood, like carved, except it's moving. It's got this very elongated body, elongated hands, and this hideous face that kind of goes up into what looks like a crown, except for the crown is growing out of its head. Mm-hmm. So it's these kind of like wooden tentacles growing out of its head that form up into a crown. What the fuck do you do?
I freeze, and like through the tears that are blurring the entire scene for me, I just stare into its eyes.
Nice. Jago, you get the sense that you had last night when the pulse came. And in fact, everyone gets this at the same time. And Myrtle, Merrill, oh, shit, I keep fucking up that name. Thank you. You've always sort of believed what was happening, except for you suddenly get this real gut that he's here, that it's worked, that the ritual has worked. What do you do? What does everyone do at this point?
I kind of feel like the music kind of like maybe mutes a little bit, and it gets like kind of quiet, and the air is quite thick and collective. Like everyone knows there's something going on, but it's no one's quite sure what to expect next, because we're always prepared for this, but we've never been sure how it will manifest.
Yeah. So the click will know, and the click will feel it too, and you can feel them in your head, just kind of going, shit. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm really terrible with names. Jesse, what's your character? Benneth. Okay. Benneth, you're feeling something too, but what you're feeling is it's not that same fear. There's something familiar. There's something like you know how you've always felt out of place?
Right.
You suddenly feel like there is something here from home.
Perfect. So am I still holding on to Melder's hand?
I don't know, Melder, what did you do when you felt that oomph come?
Yeah, I think she held on tighter and like maybe sidled a little bit closer than Bennett for comfort.
Yeah, like too close, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys do? What do you do? Benneth, what are you doing in this situation? This is kind of everything that you've been hoping for, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is. Can I try to like get into Melder's head and like feel what she's feeling?
Yes, you can. Yeah, and because as you felt that familiar presence come outside, you kind of feel power coming into you, and you kind of feel stuff that you haven't felt before. And even without wanting or knowing that you're doing it, you do that. So roll that move.
So that is a 9.
Okay, so what happens on the 9 there?
So she takes a string on me, and I think that's it. Actually, she just takes a string on me.
Oh, okay, cool. But it counts as a turn someone on, yeah?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so right. Okay. But you get to roll with a different stat, don't you? So you don't have to roll with your hot. You get to roll with your dark instead.
Right.
Yeah.
Volatile,
okay. Cool.
actually. Yeah.
Volatile. Okay. Cool. So what do you look, Lauren? What does Melder choose in that situation?
So I'm choosing from the turn someone on.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the choices from turn someone on.
I kind of want to go with like, I give myself to you like too.
Yeah, that seems appropriate at this point.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm totally going to give myself to you.
Yeah, so I think while this terrifying thing is happening outside, you two are just kind of making out inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the party just kind of continues on around you, and you're just kind of hoping that everything goes okay outside. Outside, however, terrifying demon thing. So what are you two guys doing outside?
I think I'm staring into the abyss, kind of. Feels like I'm staring into its eyes.
Yeah, I think you literally are. Okay, so well, that makes sense.
Oh, no. Is that correct? Yeah. No, it's a 7, right?
What did you roll?
Yeah, it's 6 and a 1. Yeah, 7. I should have. Why is it a? No, it says last roll is a 6. So kind of reading the dice wrong. Last roll says.
Oh,
6.
okay, cool. Oh, clear and roll again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was including your +1 anyway.
Yeah. No, it's 7. Yeah.
Okay, so you get this. You get a terrifying vision, or like a disturbing vision. This thing reaches out towards you, and how are you happy with me playing with your character's gender a little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine
Okay.
with
Cool.
Everybody else.
Okay. So it reaches out towards you, and you know it wants a queen, but you have this feeling which you haven't been sort of cognizant of before, but you kind of feel this femininity rising up inside you. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And it's reaching out towards you. However, what's coming towards this kind of awakening about your gender is inspiring. There is this terrifying demon thing that wants to take you away, and you scream. And Jago, you hear that scream. What do you do?
I think it all like rushes to me at the same time. So I was on my way into the party when that thud inside my body happened, just the same as yesterday, and then I hear a scream not long after that. So yeah, it all rushes to me. Like I was going to Benneth, but it kind of stops me in my tracks, and I turn around.
Yeah, because you're here to kind of fuck this ritual up, basically, aren't you? That's kind of your plan. Okay, right. So you turn around and you see that outside, and you see this pale wood creature thing just pulling Myriesk into it, and it's starting with them in its grasp to pull down into the floor, and the floor is kind of pulling apart and opening up around it, and it's kind of like it's returning into the ground from which it came. What are you doing?
I think kind of pathetically, he's just going to try like a tug of war kind of thing, like get a loose end and just pull in the opposite direction, like screaming and kind of like having no like idea how like he could possibly help. He's just going to kind of
make me keep you cool. Oh, sorry, you were going to say
do something? Yeah, he still has the doll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way that
Oh yeah, if you could put the doll in somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Actually, yes. I'm going to say that you can count that as a sympathetic token of the monarch, which is this creature.
Okay, now we're talking. That does change things. I think. So is it possible that I recognise the kind of form of the creature in this? Yeah,
we're going to do a flashback to you going through the books, and you do see this creature in like an old woodcut from medieval times.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I kind of meant the form in the model that I'm holding.
Okay. Yeah. You can kind of see the way it's like the wood twisted around itself. You can see that as well in the way that the stick figure is built. So, you start chanting and casting a spell. How does it work?
I don't think he starts chanting. I think what I do is I fall to my knees and start digging a hole with my hands in the dirt, and I shove this thing in this hole and try and cover it up.
Neat. Okay. What does that work like mechanically?
So I'm trying to bind it in the earth, like metaphorically and
okay. Is there a specific hex for that, or do you think we should just?
It's the person cannot physically harm others.
Cool. Okay. Do you have to roll plus dark for that, or does that just happen?
Let me see. No, I need to roll plus dark. Yes.
Okay. Roll, but don't tell me what you get.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Melda and Benneth, you pull apart from your kiss, and what do you say? Who speaks first? I think there is actually that little nervous laughter.
Yeah.
And you're kind of smiling at each other. And then you, Melda, and all of the other, and actually you as well, Benneth, and all of the clique hear this furious screech. And no one else is reacting to this at all, except for it's like blisteringly loud in your ears. And you know it's going wrong outside. What do you do?
I start running towards the door.
Yeah. She's going to
Okay.
put her hands over her ears
okay.
and follow.
So Melda, roll keep your cool.
Lovely. That's an 8 on keep your cool.
That's an 8 on keep it cool. Okay. Right. You can you can get outside, but you're not steady at all. So you're going to make like a big scene. People are going to notice you go. People are going to notice you kind of like running and screaming from the building if you go down, or you can try and just keep it together here. What do you do?
She's gonna go running and screaming to outside.
Run screaming outside. Awesome. Okay, cool. Benneth, are you following?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I just need to take a real quick break. I will be like a minute. I'll be back in just a sec.
That is some GM bullshit. Cliffhanger.
So Ollie was there, and now Ollie's gone.
Yeah, so he's having a break. That's all.
Oh, cool.
You know,
I'm
something
loving this game so much, guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is so good.
It's the best. It's so much fun.
You
I
guys
feel like
are all lovely.
I'm either falling in love with this thing, or I'm becoming the infernal through that, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a comforting embrace, is it?
Yes.
Hmm.
So what are the odds that we can get Ollie to run another game for us?
Oh my god.
We just keep sending him emails every day until he's willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess. Carry on.
Right, sorry about that. Okay, so you rush outside. You can see the thing trying to drag Mirisk into the ground. However, at the same time, you can see Jago is pushing this thing into the ground, and you can see Benneth, as you go outside, there's this kind of dark energy coalescing around Jago. He's kind of like pulling out from the trees, and you can see some of the trees withering as he's doing this. And Mirisk, you are being dragged down to the ground. Now, your move triggered earlier, the Come Save Me move, so I think that gives Jago XP. So anything else that happens there?
I get a string on him.
So you get a string on Mirisk. Okay, cool. Right, what did you roll on Dark, Jago?
11.
Oh, amazing. Okay, cool. Right. Tell me what happens, Jago.
How far can I go? Like,
we're at the end, so you can go as far as you like here.
okay. So,
go about halfway, but give Bethan and Benneth, and Melda a chance to interfere potentially.
yeah. So I've got a thought because of what you'd said earlier, actually, about Marisek. So I think this thing is kind of consuming you, and you're both going down together. And I think it's kind of starting to ossify. It's like it's from wood. It's kind of starting to strengthen into bone or rock or something really hard, and it's slowing down as it's getting like towards this hole. And I think probably I'm going to stop at the point where Merisek is kind of at the edge of the hole. I think it's kind of going so slowly that it could very well stop there, and it could maybe even be Merisek's choice as to whether they get consumed or not.
Okay, that's what you're seeing as you go outside. So, Meldal and Benneth, what are you doing?
Do I feel like this? If I feel some sort of connection to this entity, do I feel somewhat diminished as this spell is being cast?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I feel like I need to lash out then at Jago.
Okay, lash out physically, but are you going to do that actually physically, or are you going to do it with your spooky powers?
I mean, spooky powers.
Yeah. Can we involve spooky powers somehow, given the connection that you're feeling to this wood creature in the forest, somehow involve the forest, if that's all right?
Yeah, I feel like I need to... so I could use Firestarter to summon something, and I feel like I should start controlling the trees and wrapping them around Jago.
Sweet. Okay. So what do you have to roll there?
I need to roll plus volatile. So that is 11.
11. Okay. What happens on an 11?
I do 2 harm, and I'm going to give an trapped.
Trapped. Okay, cool. Tell me what that looks like on screen. And Melda, what are you doing at the same time? Melda, sorry, what are you doing at the same time?
I kind of feel like Melda's just been taken by Venice, sort of like blossoming power. So I think she's at the moment taking a lot of her cues from Venice.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
And she's quite high on adrenaline, but she's not really got any emotions attached to it. So she's just like, popped up on, I'm going to do something that I don't know what it's going to do.
Okay. Right. So, Benneth, tell me what your lash out physically looks like on screen.
So I feel like I see Jago doing this. I feel this sense of impending loss, and my hands come down, and the trees start moving in unison with my hands, and start wrapping around Jago. Like their branches get longer and start kind of encasing him and wrapping around his body.
Okay, cool. And they're scratching at you and pulling you apart and kind of pulling you up, and you're kind of left kind of like like kind of torn apart by horses kind of thing. But it's not quite going that far yet. And I think at that point you're kind of like, what am I doing? And the creature is free of Jago's spell and drags Merisk down into the ground. And the ground closes over as if nothing ever happened. And it's a couple of seconds of stunned silence, and then this little beep, 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 as Meryl gets a text from Edward that says, "Well done, I'm proud of you." And there we'll end it.
Oh my god!
I had so much fun. Thank you guys. That was really good.
That was awesome.
Ollie, that was such a fantastic premise.
Monsterhearts is the funnest. I love that game. Yeah. Right, thank you very much. I think we better let Lauren go because you've got another game to get to. Does anyone have anything that you want to...
No, I love everyone here, and I want to play so many more games with you because you're all wonderful, and I loved every second of this.
Excellent. I would be very much up for doing an episode 2 at some point in the future if you guys are up for that.
Yeah,
can you
definitely.
please?
This is awesome.
Yes,
yes, a million yes.
Let's do that because I backed the Kickstarter, so I want to get some use out of this game because I can't convince my face-to-face group to have 4 40-year-old men being romantic at each other across the table. No, that was brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. That's really good. Enjoy the rest of the con.
Yeah, you too.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah,
Cheers,
thank
bye.
you so much.
Buddy.
Oh my god, thank you.